Hello and welcome back to episode 3 of My Team Career Mode. We're back once again with United Racing on the Andrew Plays channel, and we are heading to Monaco. So let's have a look through some of the details of what we've got to go on the car. We've got some activities to do. We're going to throw in, we'll do some external training for our driver, power team equipment upgrade, and we'll do some PR filming for him as well to generate ourselves a little bit of cash. And then we're going to have a look at our R&D charts. So we've got our central undertray did come through, as did our rear main wing. So we've now got 1,100 to go through. We're going to complete the reshaped combustion chamber, which will be in place after the Monaco Grand Prix, unfortunately. And then I think we can't look at them. We can't look at them. So maybe we go for some weight redistribution, or do we go down the aerodynamics? I think we'll go with this rear wing upgrade, and then we can look at the weight redistribution next time. However, none of that will be on in time for Monaco. We've also got 2.5 million to spend. Let's have a look at, I think we'll increase the quality control on the car. And also, while we're here, we can have a look at the stats for ourselves on, no, that's on personnel. Where's our personal one? Is it on, I don't know where to find it. Is it on this one? Driver perks. Here we are. And then I clicked the wrong button anyway. Driver perks. I think we'll increase our resource point income, and also we'll reduce our engine wear and a bit of media coaching so that we can do a bit better with the questioning. And then that's all done for now. We'll head towards the Monaco Grand Prix, see if anything pops up for us to make a decision on. We just have our weekly resources coming in.
Sooner or later, you'll probably be asked by the media who you consider to be your rival. Think carefully who you select. That's why you'll receive a claim for beating them. You'll lose a claim if you fail to do so.
And at this stage, we're going to throw on the weight redistribution so that way we should have 3 upgrades coming in for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and so we will have an engine upgrade, chassis upgrade, and a aerodynamic upgrade, and hopefully through a bit of the practice we can possibly get another one thrown on there ready for Azerbaijan. And that would put us right on the tail of Alfa Romeo in the vehicle performance charts, as you can see. Although they did take a jump going into Spain, hopefully they're not going to take too much of a jump going into Monaco, because then we will be lagging behind a little bit. We've also got a press interview to do with Will Buxton. Let's go and have a look at that.
Here we are in the HQ of our newest Formula One team. We've got an awful lot to talk about, so let's jump straight in. Upgrades to your facilities seem to have stalled. Is there no more room for improvement, or are you prioritising other areas?
Yeah, so at the moment we're focusing on upgrading the car. When we've got our car upgrades, that's when we'll start to look at upgrading the facilities so that we can actually improve the car further. So we're in no rush to upgrade the facilities while there's still a lot to develop on the car.
Your second driver seems to be getting much more comfortable with their car. Have you been focusing on their development?
Yeah, we've had Dan in on the simulator quite a lot. We obviously got him to work on his pace recently, so hopefully with a bit more time on the simulator, especially going into a tough track like Monaco, we can see improved performances from him, although he's had a very nice start for us.
Would it be safe to say that in terms of team orders, your career comes first in your team?
Absolutely not. So the priority is team success. If it happens that I'm the one that gets the success, that's a bonus, but we want team success here. And if it comes a time where I'm in a better position to challenge for the Drivers' Championship or challenge for points, then obviously I will put me first. If my teammate, whether it's Dan or somebody in the future, if they're the one in position, in the final few races that I'm out of a title race, they're still in it, then they will be the one that gets the priority.
Your team's been picking up points fairly consistently. Do you think you'll be able to become a challenge to the top teams in the future?
Yeah, well, we've picked up consistently in 2 races 0 points, so yeah, sure. What we are going to do is we're going to thank our friends at the sponsor, get a bit of extra acclaim with them.
You've been struggling to get points this season. What are the key areas of improvement you need to make to the team?
Considering you just said we've picked up points consistently, well, I don't think you've been watching the season, if I'm being honest. But what we're going to say is we're working on eliminating drag, so we've got air upgrades. I think that's going to be a priority for us.
Well, thanks so much as ever for your time. It's hugely appreciated.
And there we have it. Interview with Will is all done and dusted. We won't show all of them because they do get a bit repetitive. We got a nice bonus from our sponsor though, about 200,000 they've given us there. And let's head to Monaco for practice. So here we are, practice 1. We have done quite a bit of practice. I think this might have even been practice 2 in the end. I was just getting used to the track a bit more. As I mentioned, using a new wheel that I didn't have last year, and it's taken some getting used to, particularly around Monaco. And also, admittedly, I'm just not the best at F1 games. I'm getting better, don't get me wrong, but there's work to be done, as you've probably noticed. But we come through the tunnel here, and we are slightly up on our best time so far, which is a 1:13.25. Brake hard into the Nouvelle chicane. One that I've always liked driving around it, although I do catch my back wheel occasionally. I did catch it, I think, the lap before this one. Caught the back wheel as I went past the corner and spun the car 180 degrees. And into Rascasse we go. Round the final corner and then down the straight. We actually slightly improve our best time, which is a good sign for qualifying. And now you join us on as we start the first lap of qualifying. We're going to follow Carlos Sainz down the straight, try and get a bit of his slipstream, although the Ferrari might be a bit too quick for us to be able to actually follow for very long. We do take a good first corner though, and into Casino we don't quite get the foot down like we'd like to. Then round the bump as we head into Maribor, and we take that first corner very well, and then into the Grand Hotel hairpin, and now out of the Maribor section and into the tunnel we go, as we see Sergio Perez go quickest. But we come out of the tunnel into the Nouvelle chicane once again. We take that much nicer this time round than what we did in practice. And into the swimming pool chicane we go. We take that very well, much better than we've seen sometimes. Into Rascasse, which is, we go wide into Rascasse, and this could have been a much better lap without that little mistake. but it is going to put us 1.2 seconds down. Not very good as we go around Russell, but you rejoin us right at the end of Q1. We have had another run in the middle of that. We've actually used all 3 sets of tyres, but into Sandoval we make a much better start to the lap, and up towards the casino, and this corner doesn't quite go right for us, and into Maribor we go. We take that one quite well though, and now another hard braking turn in front of the Grand Hotel. Catch that curb, which I don't really like catching because it seems to just throw the car up a little bit. But then we accelerate into the tunnel. We're a little bit down on our time at the moment, but as we go into the Nouvelle chicane, we know we've got pressure on us. We can see now that we have been knocked out of the top 16 that qualify. Giovinazzi knocks me and Raikkonen into the elimination zone, and we need a very good run through Raskas. We do get a good run through Raskas, and we're 3.5 tenths up. Is that going to be enough to get us past Giovinazzi? It's not. And we finished the lap. Ended up being a little bit of a poor lap in the end. And as we have a look here, Sergio Perez fastest in Q1. But where will we sit? We are down in 18th. You can see there, about 5 tenths away from Giovinazzi. But our fastest lap was actually our second lap, which I forgot to record, I won't lie. But a decent qualifying. We don't quite manage to make Q2, which we will be aiming to do next time out at Azerbaijan. But on to the race we go.
Driving the Circuit de Monaco was like riding a bicycle around your living room, and it's not hard to see what he means by that. There's no more prestigious a Grand Prix victory than Monaco, but also none so challenging. The astonishing Circuit de Monaco is, for all intents and purposes, virtually unchanged since its inaugural race back in 1929. The faster cars of today, though, ensure the 19 corners past the casino and along the seafront remain as thrilling as ever. A 2.1-mile lap here takes us around an entire country, yet never more than inches from the race-ending barriers. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. Ant, it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course, you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, Charles Leclerc and Ricciardo, Norris, Sainz, Vettel and Pierre Gasly, Stroll, Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso and Ocon, Mick Schumacher, Giovinazzi, Kimi Raikkonen and Ace, Russell, Mazepin, Latifi and Daniel Ticktum. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So as we sit on the grid, we're going to have a little look at the race strategy. So they're recommending hards to mediums. We're going to have a little play around with the timing, see if we're better to go in a lap early. And then we also have a look at the personalised, which suggests a medium to soft run, which Sounds quite an interesting idea, and we have a little play around with the timings on that. Even just one lap longer is a massive difference, but we're going to go for it. We're going to give it a go, and we start the race. Off we go. It's a really good start for us, and we go straight around the outside of Giovinazzi. It's 3 wide into Sandoval with Raikkonen on the other side of Giovinazzi. He gets past Giovinazzi, and unfortunately the Italians just kind of sandwich and not able to find a way through. Doesn't matter for us. We're going to follow Raikkonen into Casino and down into Mirabeau. We're going to go for a dive bomb, and it's not a full-fledged dive bomb, which could have been disastrous, but we do get right onto the back of Schumacher as a yellow flag comes out. That causes us to see Raikkonen drop out of that little battle for 16th place, and now we get a chance to close down Mick Schumacher. He is going to be dragged along by Ocon, but if we play our game right, play our cards right, we can wait until he drops out of the slipstream of the next group up, and then we'll be able to really cut into the times. I think at this early stage of the season, we've already established there's, the rest of the grid. You've kind of got Mercedes, Red Bull, McLaren, Ferrari. Then you've got the Aston Martins, the AlphaTauri and the Alpine. And then you've got the Haas, Alfa Romeo, Williams and United Racing. So we want to come out on top of that group. As you can see on lap 4 here, exactly what we expected. Schumacher has fell off from Ocon, which means we're going to get a chance to attack him. And we take the swimming pool chicane quite well, and we're going to go in on Schumacher, but there's a yellow flag which is going to prevent us from doing so. And Schumacher is the reason for the yellow flag. Schumacher is out of the race with an engine failure.
Green flag. The gap to the car ahead is 4.9 seconds.
But you hear there 4.9 seconds already away from Ocon, and by lap 10 it's 12.7 seconds, and that's really establishes what I meant about that time frame differences, and we just don't really have the car to compete with those front runners yet,
Mind that front wing. It'll need replacing if it takes too much damage.
or even the middle of the pack really at the moment. We're just not quite on their level. But as we approach lap 11, 13 seconds now the gap ahead, but we're keeping Raikkonen behind. We're saving fuel now as well, because we're a lap down when we started, and we need to make sure we end.
Okay, take it easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of damage.
We need to make sure we're able to finish the race, which, if we're not careful, could be in jeopardy if we don't manage the fuel. So the plan is we're going to save the fuel and then go aggressive to try and build a gap to Raikkonen if we can. But we come out of turn 7 and 8 through the Mirabeau section, and we're going to head into the tunnel. And then at the end of this lap, you'll see the first pit stops being done. And as you can see, when we've come through on lap 12, Vettel and Gasly have both pitted, and they're still well ahead of us. 3 seconds for Gasly, near enough 6 seconds for Vettel, which spells a bit of trouble for us if we aren't able to keep pace at all, because when we do pit later than Raikkonen and Giovinazzi, they're going to have open air to run in. And you can see here on lap 20, we come through the swimming pool chicane. At this point I'm thinking, is this medium long run worth it? And I really am considering ditching it, but we stay out. We're going to risk it. We've still got another lap to change our minds really, because we could dive in alongside Giovinazzi. But you can see the gap to Ocon and Tsunoda, still 10 seconds to Tsunoda, 6.7 to Ocon. And this is a really important lap for us, as we know Raikkonen's pitted, we don't go well through the casino section and into Mirabel.
Car in front is 7.2 seconds.
So at this point, it's already kind of established we're not going to be challenging for points unless there's a safety car that brings us back into the race at the very end when we've got the softs on. But that's all we're really relying on. And then as we come out of the tunnel, we have got a bit of pace over Giovinazzi, which I think maybe he's taking it easy, knowing he's, he's pitting this lap. He knows he's got a pit stop anyway. There's no point getting too aggressive and risking anything. But at this moment, I'm really considering it, and I decide we are committing to the medium to soft strategy, and hopefully it's going to pay off. But one lap on, you see, as we enter Mirabo, we see Russell and Raikkonen go past Giovinazzi, and they're 20 seconds behind for Raikkonen. Only 3 laps on as we enter lap 25, it's a 10-second gap to Raikkonen, 9.2 to Russell. And at this point, I've realised what's gone wrong, but it's too late for me to fix it. We're now just hoping there's going to be a safety car, but at this point now, Russell is all over the back of us, and this is our in-lap. Raikkonen's 0.5 behind,
and right behind. Problem at our end. We're looking into it. Okay, gap ahead is 24.2 seconds.
Right behind Raikkonen is Giovinazzi. So this medium to soft strategy has gone completely wrong for us. And now we've got problems with the engine as well.
It's not good news, I'm afraid. Seems like an engine issue.
So now we're just hoping the engine will hold on and let us at least finish this race and not end it early like it did in Bahrain. Although, given how bad this strategy has gone, would it be kinder for us to have to retire the car? That was genuinely going through my head at this point of the race, because it's clear as day to me that this strategy has not worked, because we're never going to get a 20-second gap back on Russell and Raikkonen. We then have a wing change. Yeah, that automatically means it's now a 25-second gap. And now we're coming out in the middle of all the leading cars. Ricciardo and Leclerc go past us. We have the inside line, which means we do sort of have a chance of battling Leclerc if we wanted to, but obviously we're not. We then let Norris pass. And we've realised what's gone wrong for us here. And by the time we're coming through the casino, the hotel hairpin, we're letting Carlos Sainz pass on our inside, and then we've got to pull over and let past Vettel and Gasly. We leave space for Tsunoda. Tsunoda hits us on his way past. We thankfully don't have any damage, but you can see the 25-second gap to Latifi. He wasn't even the guy who followed us. You can see the gap on the map to from Latifi to Mazepin, and as we just skipped through to the end of the race. I don't know what happened here. We had basically a slideshow through the last 5 laps of the race. So you can see the recording quality here went off a cliff, and I don't really know why. I have managed to fix it partway through the Azerbaijan Grand Prix weekend. It took a bit of experimentation. So apologies for this quality, but you can see us cross the line here in 20th place. We're only not...
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
The only reason we're not last is because of 2 DNFs. It's a complete disaster of a weekend for myself. Tictum getting driver of the day. He had quite a good race in the end.
It's the one that everyone wants to win, and they've only gone and done it. What a fantastic result here at Monaco. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
So, in the end, it's a poor Monaco Grand Prix for us.
So after a magnificent
We
race,
see
we can now
the
drivers making their
two
way to the
Mercedes
podium.
drivers and a
Once
Red
again,
Bull
it's the Silver
on
Arrows
the
who take top spot. A well-earned
podium.
victory for Mercedes.
And today we couldn't feel much further away from the podium. The attempted different strategy to the rest of the race, it was a gamble, but oh boy did the gamble not come off. And it'll be a while before we try any outlandish plans like that again. But yeah, a really disappointing race for us. Hopefully we can turn it around in future. We've got Azerbaijan as the next Grand Prix, and we'll be really hoping for at least somewhat of a result there. Just, we can't finish last again.
Let's have a look then at the drivers' standings. Max
But before we
Verstappen
get
should be
to
pleased with
that,
his performance,
what I
making
will just
gains at the top of the
what I will
table.
just mention
After
is
an incredible day
there
at
will be a
racing,
bit of a
who was
delay
your
in
driver of the day, Ant?
videos for the next 3 weeks.
It's
I'm
time
doing
to
my best
check
to
out
record
the
as much as I
constructors'
can in
standings.
advance.
Mercedes moved to the
However,
top
it's
of the table.
not
Another team
going
that
to
excelled
be
today was
a
Williams, who
you know,
made further
full
progress up the table. I'm equal
full
parts
3
exhausted
weeks
and
of
elated with this weekend
videos
of Formula
because
One.
I'm
Be
off
sure to join
for
us
most of
the
those 3
next one.
weeks because I'm getting married, and then at the end of that, yeah, we've got some time away and things like that. I'll get as much content out in the meantime as I can. It'll be pre-scheduled for the next week or so. I'm hoping to get a little bit into the week commencing the 9th, but I'm not sure that'll happen. But if you have enjoyed that, please do leave a like, comment your predictions for what we need to do to turn this around. Subscribe for more F1 content. Check out the FM content if you're into Football Manager. We'll be back with the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We've got Breaking Point again coming out soon. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you very much for watching.